Hello, and welcome to day one of this 3-day activation choice, power, and courage. Thank you for being here. If you don't already know me, I'm Charlotte Trolle, and I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm an energy healer and a transformative healer, and I work mainly through theta healing, clairvoyance, and conversation with clients, students, and customers. Today, we're going to talk about the choice, making a choice. We're going to talk about why it can be difficult to make a choice and why it can be difficult to feel what we really want to choose. So it's also a conversation about where do you make the choice and where do you make other people make the choice for you. And often when we don't take a choice, which is, by the way, also a choice, but when we don't make a choice, it's because we're scared of being excluded from the collective. And it's also because we're scared that people might think that we're wrong. We say that we are mistaken, that we've made a mistake. So starting to make choices from your heart, from yourself, to go the path you want to walk, the first things that comes up is often fear, both in big choices and also in smaller choices. Fear that if we walked away, something bad might happen. So often not making the choice is trying to take care of ourselves and be loving towards ourselves, because there are beliefs in our subconscious that around what happens if we walk the path, if we get the success. One of the very strong ones that many people have is that if I walk the path, I will become lonely. If I get success, I will be lonely, I will be alone. And then if you don't want to be alone, if you want a family, have a family, partner, friends, you won't walk the path because you're not willing to let go of that side of your life. So maybe we should start by you testing whether you have this belief or not, this belief that if I become successful, I become lonely. And we do it by energy testing. It's a tool that I learned through theta healing, and it's a way to ask your subconscious what it believes to be true and not true. So what you'll do is, first of all, it's a good idea to be hydrated. So have some water, and then you stand up, and you will close your eyes. And then first you will say yes, 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 and then you'll feel a pull forward. So go yes, 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 and feel the pull forward. So this is our yes. And then you'll go no, 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 and feel the pull backwards. If you do not get any reaction, you might need to drink more water, 2 glasses, 3 glasses. It does not work if we're dehydrated, and very often we are, as people, as human, we are dehydrated. What you can also do is you can zip up your energy field like this and see if that corrects it. And then when you're ready, you stay standing. What you'll do is you'll close your eyes and you'll say out loud, you'll say, if I become successful, I'll become lonely. If I walk my path, I have to walk alone. And if you have this belief, let's pull it. Let's pull this belief from all 4 levels. This is how I work with 4 levels. We will pull it from the core, which is your life now, this life, and we'll pull it from genetic. That means in your DNA, it's what you have from your ancestral lines. And we'll pull it on a level called history, which is both the collective unconsciousness and also it's It's other lives. If you believe in other lives, this is where you'll find them. And then on a soul level as well. So we'll cancel, delete them on core, on your genetic, and on soul level, and on the collective unconscious. We cannot delete it, but we can cancel it, and we can unplug you. So release it for you. So if you want this healing, that we pull the belief, if I become successful, I'll become lonely. If I walk my path, I have to go walk alone. Then just say yes out loud. Thank you. And then take some good deep inhalations all the way into your stomach. And can we replace this belief with, I can have both success and family and friends. I can walk my path and have family and friends. So if you want these two beliefs, just say yes. Mm. Feel how the old belief leaves you and the new beliefs enter. And then, in order for your system to understand this, it might be necessary to ask the creator, the universe, to show you what these feelings are like, how it feels to be both successful and have family and friends, how it feels to be walking your path and have family and friends, because we might not know this feeling. So if you want this download of feelings into all yourselves, you just say yes. There we go. And this thing about saying yes, it's a law of the universe, the law of free will, that states that I cannot give you a healing if you do not want the healing. So it's your free will to accept the healing. My business is to witness it happening. So what it's about on a deep level when we choose or not choose, when we have challenges with choice. On a deep level, it's always interesting to go in and see, why do we have challenges with this, instead of maybe keep beating ourselves up because we can't make the choices, because we can't create what we want to create. Then let's look into why it's difficult for you to make these choices, why it's a challenge for you to make these choices. So take a moment and close your eyes and then feel into this. What have you been told off for? Or when have you been told off for choosing yourself? Ask ask that you be shown the first times that you were told off for being yourself. That you were told off for taking space. It might have been parents, grandparents, other grown-ups in your vicinity. Where are these wounds about you choosing yourself and being told off or being punished? How old were you? And feeling into this, let's remember that most of what your parents or other people told you, they did out of love. And they did because they have been programmed to believe that it is dangerous to take up space, to make your own choice. So they are trying to protect you by putting a lid on you as well. So we're not here to blame anybody. We are just here to release it. So take contact now to the youngest version of you who were told off for taking space, for choosing yourself. And then sit down by her side or by his side and ask what they need. And ask them how you can help them. And if you don't get an answer, then if you did get an answer, what would it be? And then tell them that you love them, and tell them that you love that they are able to express themselves, and that you love the fact that they are taking up space. And tell them that you will always be there. Maybe they want to sit on your lap. Maybe they need a hug, a kiss, holding hands, whatever this younger version of you need, you give it to them. The other grown-ups around the child were not able to, but now you are old enough to go back and be that supportive person to yourself. And then, can we ask for an energetic vacuum of all comments, all these comments of negative kind around choosing yourself, around taking up space? So if you want this clearing of your energy, just say yes, and we'll ask for a clearing of the energy, that it be pulled and sent up to out to the universe to be transformed into love. And you just breathe, and maybe if you feel like it, you can move your spine a little. Maybe you want to stretch your jaw, and then just deep inhalations all the way down to your stomach, and exhale. And let it all go, let it go, let it go. So now what happens is that some of you have resistance for this being pulled out, because you have a very strong belief that a person who takes up space and who chooses for itself what it wants to do equals a selfish person, a selfish person. And then take a moment now to feel into what is a selfish person. What kind of person is that? Is it someone you would want to be, or is it someone who you definitely do not want to be? Most of us are programmed to resent people who are selfish. We believe that they are wrong, they're reckless, they're evil, they're not lovable, they do not think of the collective. So, can we break that misunderstanding, or that connection your system has made between choosing yourself and being selfish, because it's two different things totally. So can we ask creator to break up this connection? Thank you. There you go. And now the rest of the energy can be sucked out, sent up to God's light, creator, universe. Every phrase works. What we also meet in this sea of making a choice from your heart is this almost virtue of selflessness. And it's been something that we is taught in most religions, that in order to be with God, you have to be selfless. So can we pull that? Because that's not correct. It's not correct that you cannot ask anything of anybody else. It's not correct that you have to leave yourself totally to be with God. That is an old story, and it's a story that served religion for hundreds and hundreds of years, but it's not the highest truth. So if you want that belief pulled, then say yes. And can we also pull the belief any misunderstanding and belief in your systems around the belief that choosing yourself equals letting everybody else down, and also that choosing yourself means that you become a bad person. If you want these pulls, say yes, and again we'll pull them on all 4 levels, all timelines, all languages and lingos. There we go. And can we replace it with, when I choose myself, I choose everybody else as well. And I can choose myself and belong at the same time. So if you want those, say yes. There you go. So in order for this to thoroughly land in your system, can we download that it's safe to choose yourself and it's safe to trust yourself? How it feels that it's safe to trust yourself, how it feels that it's safe to choose yourself. And can we also ask to download Creator or the universe highest truth and definition of choosing yourself and trusting yourself? And if you want this, say yes. There you go. Yeah. So when we talk about choice in the context that this life is addressing, it's also an awareness of who we want to be and how we want to be. And it's a substantial choice to make, because it will often mean, for most people, it will mean that some people in your group of friends, maybe some people in the workplace where you are, they will fall out of your circle. You will not keep seeing them, being friends with them, because you will have a very different vibration. So often we do not choose ourselves because this is back to the that we're scared that we're going to lose the community. So if we want to become the one we dream of, career-wise, family-wise, as a parent, as a partner, as a human being, as a woman, or as a man, it requires that you start surrounding yourself with people that are on the same quest of raising their vibration, and also around people whose vibration already is higher, and who is already where you want to be, so you can lock in their energy and feel that energy and start living that energy. And then this leads me to talk about the small choices. Maybe they're not small at all, the everyday choices. Because if we want to create these things that we dream about in the magnitude that we want to create them, it requires energy. It requires a lot of energy, and it requires that the energy keeps on pouring into you. And in order to maintain the energy, to create the energy, it requires that you eat properly. That means no junk food, no sugar, no dairy for most of us, on a consistent basis. It doesn't mean that you can never have these things. It just means that mostly you should have fresh food, food that you cooked yourself or somebody cooked for you, that is made of whole foods, and organically grown, preferable as well, and that the water you drink, that you're probably hydrated, and that the water you drink is filtered, and that you sleep well, that you relate well, that you exercise well. All these things need to be in order. And for these things to be in order, you have to choose yourself. You have to choose to make time to create these things for yourself. You have to choose yourself to uh, go to bed at a proper time so you get the amount of sleep you need. You have to choose yourself to do the amount of exercise that nurtures you the highest and best way. So these smaller everyday choices become big choices when you are when you consistently live in the choice of keeping yourself healthy and strong. Um, Another place that the fear of the choice is situated is in our DNA. It's in our ancestral lines. It's scientifically proved now that we have messages in our DNA from up to 7 generations back, and that also means traumas and violent situations and problematic situations like hunger or economical problems. These things that happens in people's lives that are detrimental, more or less. Um, mm, and these things, they are lying in our DNA because they program us to survive, which is a good thing. And a lot of these programs are very good, but some of them are not. Some of them are outdated because in the life we live now, we do not need to be, for example, as women, afraid what will happen to us if our husband dies and we're left alone. Because we can, in this life now, in this time, we can support ourselves, but our system does not necessarily know that we can. So it's a good idea to get into see what beliefs do I have lying here dormant, maybe about who I can be, what is possible in my life, what I'm allowed to do, how much I can receive, how much I can shine. Um, Another side to this thing about choice and feeling into our own choices is the way we're programmed from we're small. We might go to kindergarten and we might have said, "Oh, I don't want to go to kindergarten today. I want to stay home." And a grown up around us will say, "Oh, it's going to be such fun. Come, you want to go." Or we'll ask our mom or our father or grandparent, "Are you sad?" Because we sense they're sad. And they'll say, "Oh, no, no, I'm not sad." So we start doubting ourselves and what we feel. And we also are taught from very early on that there are people who specialize in things and they know better, and that we should not trust ourselves, but that we should ask people who are specialists in a lot of things. And it's not that it's necessarily a bad thing, it's just that very often, and a lot of answers we have ourselves if we ask and if we listen. So this thing about asking and listen, it's a question of creating that habit again and creating that opening again to the listening, and also to rebuild the trust in ourselves that we can trust what we hear. And it's just like if you want to start running in the beginning, you can run a very short distance and that's it, and your legs hurt and you're out of breath. And then if you keep doing it, suddenly you can run kilometer after kilometer. It's the same thing with your connection to your heart, with your intuition. You need to practice it. Um, And this thing about learning to listen, a reason why we might not do it, we might not practice it, even though we want to learn it, is also that it can be painful. It can be painful to listen in. Can be painful to meet all the places that where we left ourselves in our lives, or it can be painful to meet the places where other people left us, where we felt we were not enough, where we abandoned other people. And then we bypass because we bypass feeling the sorrow, the pain, the anger. Um, so, how do we open into this field of choice? We clear out, like we've done today. We take time every day to feel in what do I want? And this field of choice, it's actually creation. So it's feeling into what is it I wish to create. Um, so what we'll do now is we'll go into a meditation where you choose something, a place where you want to find out what your next step is. It can be the greatest question is like, what is my mission in this life? It can also be um, how do I help my children in the highest and best way, or what is the next step in my career, or what should I do in order to manifest a new house, a new home, a bigger home for me, for my family. And what we'll do in this meditation is we'll go to what is called seventh plane of existence. This is where we work in the theta healing. This is where we go. It's a place of unconditional love. There is no right, no wrong. There's only love there, and creation. So in the meditation, I will take you with me up there, and then we'll ask the questions. What is my mission? What is my path? Why am I here? What will you have me do? What resonates with you? How do I help this person? How do I help myself? And then listen. And we have a tendency to try to think the answer. And when we think the answer, we are limited to this frame, this body. When we receive the answer, we are open that for the possibility that there is a higher consciousness that the one we have in this body. And when we enter this higher consciousness, the answers are there. Sometimes we get very cryptic answers. I normally call them the Oracle and Delphi answers. We're so used to that, then we'll get an answer, and then we have to figure out, what did that mean? Am I clever enough to figure out what that meant? But we don't need to do that. You can just ask Creator, can you tell me what you mean? Because I do not understand. So just keep asking until you understand. And then you can have this sense that you lean back into yourself and expect the answer. And sometimes it's not clear. And the reasons for it not being clear are several, and some of them we're going into on the third day of this activation. And some of them is just about you not believing in yourself, not believing that you are capable of receiving messages. And then when these voices, they come up, or feelings that, okay, I cannot do that. Other people can, but I cannot do that. You can just say, thank you for your input, but no thanks. I believe that I can receive an answer. So believe it. Don't try this meditation, do this meditation. Yeah, choose to receive the answers. And sometimes they come more clear in the dreams you have the night after. And sometimes they come more clear in something somebody says or shows you, something you see during the next couple of days. So don't worry if you are one of these people that sits there and is like, okay, nothing happens. Trust that something will happen because you have chosen to ask and chosen to receive an answer. So, being up in the seventh plane is a place where every answer is loving. So if you get an answer that's not loving, you move up higher. You go higher, higher, higher. And I'll guide you into this as well. But if the answer is anything but loving, it's part of your self-talking that do not have the confidence and the belief that you should move anywhere from where you are now. Okay. So please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And a sigh, let go of your shoulders, let go of your jaw. And then center yourself in your heart, your big, beautiful heart. And then take your energy down to your feet. And then all the way into the earth beneath you. And then visualize that you pull up energy from the earth all the way up through your feet and your legs, all the way up through your torso, and out on top of your head in a ball of light. You're in this ball of light, safe and protected. And then imagine that this ball of light, it shoots upwards, out of the room you're in, out of the house you're in, up through the sky, into the universe, passes the stars, the galaxies, the Milky Way, the planets, up, all the way to the edge of the universe, and then out of the universe, and then up through a series of white light, up, and then through a golden light, and then through this jelly-like substance in all the colors of the rainbow, up, and then up into this pink mist that's the law of compassion, and then it will lift you up to this opening into a pearly iridescent white light. And you enter the white light, and the ball around you, the ball of light around you disappears, and you become one with the white light. This is seventh plane. This is all that is, and love, unconditional love. Feel how your body comes full of unconditional love. And if you see things around you here, you move up higher. You can imagine that you're a balloon full of helium, that it moves because a balloon full of helium will move up effortlessly. So just imagine that that's you. You're moving up. Yeah, there you go. Up. And as we grounded before we went up here, you will not disappear from your body. You will stay here. Don't worry. Yeah, there you go. And then inside your head, say the following command. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that an answer to my question, and then state your question, will be given at this time, on this day, in the highest and best way. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. And then lean back. Let your eyes relax between your eyebrows. Don't try to figure out the answer, just expect the answer. And if the voices come up, you can't hear an answer. Just tell them thank you, but no thank you. And don't settle with an with a cryptic answer that you don't really understand. Ask for clearance. Exactly. And then ask, what should my next step be to reach this goal? And it doesn't have to be major things. It might be pick up the phone and call someone. It might be do some more exercises. It might be get more sleep, or it might be get that one side web page done, or get your butt to the doctor, or it doesn't. Don't judge and think, oh, that's too small. That must be something else. Just go with what you hear. And then what is the next step? And show me the next step. So now you get 2, 3, 4 steps. And then still in this creator energy, unconditional love energy, make a choice. Choose to do these things that you have heard now. Choose that there's no negotiation. You will do these things to honor yourself. And then when you're ready, that the ball of light create itself around you again. And then move down out of the pearly iridescent, powerful white light, down through the jelly-like substance, through the golden light, through the series of white light, back into the universe, and all the way down through the universe, down, 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 all the way back to the top of your head. And then let it go all the way down through your body and into the ground. And then from the ground, pull up all the way back to the top of your head again. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. And now it is a good idea to make time in your calendar every day to create this thing that you want. And that you, as I said before, that you make an agreement with yourself that these times, they are not for anything else. They're not for, oh, okay, if you want that meeting, we could do it there. Or, okay, I can do the shopping there. Or no, just put yourself first and start creating what it is you want to create. Choose yourself. Choose to create what you want to create. Thank you very much for joining me today. I am looking forward to take you with me on the next part of the journey, which is about power, strength, and taking back your power where you have given it away to other people, to situations. So you can create an even bigger container in which to play in which to choose, and in which to create in. So, thank you. Bye.